Sam Altman-backed Retro Biosciences is raising $1 billion for a project to extend human life. So Sam can just, here it comes again. Boom. Again, it's two rays.
A little bit of a roadshow moment.
I mean, it's
actually the most, a lot of, if you, founders struggle with this, right? Because if you wanted to really kickstart a fundraising process, you'd go out there and you'd say, I'm fundraising.
Yeah.
But you kind of can't.
You can't really
do that. You can, I guess, at a certain scale, just go, we're planning to raise $1 billion.
Yeah.
But they're not.
Yeah.
They're not saying we're raising right now.
Yeah.
Please come invest in our startup.
Yeah.
It's much more of this sort of roadshow style announcement. And when you're raising $1 billion for a company which presumably has no revenue or very little,
or incorporation
or
documents.
maybe a little pre-product.
No, I think this does exist.
I've heard of this company. It's been around
it's
for a while.
But I mean, it is true. Like I think you and a lot of other folks, when they're thinking about a new business idea, oftentimes it helps to like build a deck around it and then share that around with partners and people. You've made way more decks.
I've helped start a bunch of different companies, but I've made 10 times as many decks.
You
I'll
kind of
flip
think
it out
in
and
decks.
I'm like, okay, I think in decks. It's the best way.
Yeah.
It's much more if you have a cool idea and you can't turn it into a compelling deck, it's just a cool idea.
Exactly.
It's not a real business opportunity.
Exactly. And so it seems like for a lot of these guys at this level, they think in Financial Times profiles.
Yeah. And to be
Like,
clear, I think what they're doing sounds amazing, and
Yeah.
I would like them to have $1 billion.
Totally.
I would give it to them if I had it.
And so there's
if it
seed
wasn't
round.
all of my friends, early stage, pre-seed startups.
Yeah. And so they did a modest seed round. I think we might have to get the size going out for this. $180 million seed. And this will put more money in the Series A. The company is in talks with family offices, VCs, and sovereign wealth funds, as well as U.S. hyperscaler data centers to provide computing power. And so this $1 billion might come in the form of cloud credits as well, be sort of a blend. But he's certainly raising. So the San Francisco-based biotech will use the money to fund clinical trials for 3 drugs, including a potential treatment for Alzheimer's disease, which will be tested in an early stage study in Australia this year. It's also working on drugs for rejuvenating blood and brain cells. I love that. Right now, if someone gets Alzheimer's, it doesn't matter what your resources are. If you're like Joe Biden or Elon Musk or whoever, you can write as big of a check as you want to anybody, and nobody knows how to cure it.
Which is so crazy, right?
Sad. Yeah.
Imagine how much funding Joe Biden would have had available to not be, falling apart while president of the United States.
Yeah,
right?
I posted this. It was like when Biden was having trouble, he should have put together like an Operation Warp Speed
GoFundMe
for Brian Johnson blueprint.
Yeah,
Get
or
him
just
in there.
throw up a GoFundMe. I would have thrown a bone to
Pass
old
the
Joe.
hat. And so Altos, backed by Jeff Bezos, had the largest ever biotech fundraising, raising $3 billion in 2022. So a lot of these different power players in Silicon Valley are doing biotech stuff now. Obviously, Elon has Neuralink, which is bio-related and curing a lot of blindness, but also paraplegics, syndromes. Betsy LaCroix said Altos has brilliant minds and admirable longer-range research goals, but he said he and Altman both come from the Tech Accelerator Y Combinator, and so they have a very fast-paced, action-oriented, target-centric mindset.
The reason I like this play is because a lot of people talk about AI solving aging, but then it's not obviously going to happen just via a model, right? Unless it becomes truly agentic and, we achieve this sort of ASI and it's just like, I'm going to save all the humans. People, that'd be a fun reality, but more realistically, we need companies that are leveraging these new technologies in a very specific context like this around specific drugs and treatments that can solve specific issues, not just generally hoping that the technology will cure all of our problems.
A lot of these drugs, they usually take between 10 to 15 years to discover and then develop and get through the FDA process. And the goal here and the bet is that with AI and a faster paced team, they can accelerate that and bring drugs to market faster. Working with the $157 billion AI startup also has an ulterior motive, bringing biotech into OpenAI. You know that you're making progress towards AGI when your models are able to make discoveries that humans couldn't on their own. Sort of like the Move 37 moment in AI for biotech would be very interesting, where the AI spits out something that wasn't considered as a possibility. They test it, and then it works.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
So one thing you'll notice from Altman's moves is that they tend to all interconnect in some way. There's many ways you could say, oh, WorldCoin is the currency of OpenAI, and or you could imagine a world
or
in
like
which
post AGI, he clearly wants to think about what is the way to deliver UBI to everyone. And WorldCoin would be a way to distribute value to billions of people. I think that's part of the thesis, at least.
So they can go buy kava, slop, grain balls.
Yeah. And so let's see. If you're 85 years old and you undergo this therapy, you can replace your blood stem cells with ones that are zero age, and then those ripple out and produce all your blood. Basically, it's like having 80% of all your cells become zero age. Is it a Faustian bargain? We'll find out. Sounds good to me, though. I'm down. I'm down to replace all my blood, replace everything, turn me into a robot. Who cares?
As long as you can podcast, John.
As long as I can podcast and bench press, I'm good.
Yeah. As long as you can bench more than a certain fellow.
Yeah, exactly. The robotic arms, that seems highly relevant to bench pressing.